Hello, everybody. Because my PowerPoint at home is kind of weird, I decided to make my presentation in WordPad, which the screen is a different resolution now, so I kind of have the same problem as before. Whatever. Anyway, how many of you have played Dropsy or know? How many of you know about Dropsy? Okay. So Dropsy is a game. It's a point-and-click adventure game where you play as a clown. He is not that attractive looking, and on top of being a clown, which already drives a lot of people away. And he's just a kind-hearted, heart of gold guy, and he doesn't want to hurt anybody. So that's kind of the game, but. Oh yeah, she's not an enemy, but yeah, it symbolizes love. All right, anyway, follow me on Twitter. And so I'm going to talk about me a little bit so you have some context, because I might reference some of my past later. Does anybody know what click and play is? Yay! So back in the late 90s, I got into game development as a young whippersnapper little guy, and I got Click and Play, which was basically proto Game Maker. It was like Game Maker from the 90s, basically, and that's what it looked like. And so I got into that community there. That's not me, but and when the internet kind of took off, a community formed around Click and Play, and those were the earliest games I made. And then I was an academic failure. And I dropped out of high school, so then I did telemarketing. Woohoo! And I gave up on doing video games because in 2005 it was not realistic to make games like I was making, which were basically pixel art, low-res games, and sell them and make a living off of them. You had to go to college. So I was like, well, I don't know what I'll do now. I think I'll be a telemarketer. And I started listening to prog rock, which made me even more insufferable. So I started a crappy progressive rock group, and that didn't go anywhere either. And then to make matters worse, I started posting on Something Awful. So I was just like the worst person in the universe. But on Something Awful, I made a choose your own adventure game with Dropsy. And Dropsy was originally a boss enemy for a zombie platformer in 2004 I was working on. And I reused him because I thought he was kind of cute, and made a little choose your own adventure. So this is like an example of one of the posts back then. And people just told me what to do, and then I'd MS Paint a new panel and stuff. And the dog's face paint, that's where that comes from. A forum suggestion. And there's another lovely post that someone made wanting Dropsy to get some hands sewn on him because he doesn't have hands. Anyway, and then that got pretty popular, and everyone's like, hey, do video games. Do a video game out of it. So I was like, okay, I will. Anyway, so that's my history, and then I made Dropsy. There was a lot of trial and error and personal failure in that time, which you can find online if you look for it. It's pretty well documented. But it eventually got made. So anyway, I guess I'll start by talking about the subject, which is making games where the default interaction is one that isn't taking or destroying or killing, and having that still be something people want to do. So here are various ways that we interact with the world. We have group hugs at work. We cook. We play games with friends. We send grandma packages. We eat salad. And then here's a bunch of other things that I couldn't Google pictures for that I liked. So actually, I was making this like 10 minutes before I came up here, so to be honest, I didn't have time to Google pictures for most of these. Anyway, so yeah, lots of stuff, feeding pets, petting pets, lots of fun, different, crazy, varied things you can do in this life. And in video games, most of the time, unless it's just like a fun side thing to do, you kill stuff or you get things. And that's replace coins with gems maybe, or ammunition, which you then use to kill things. But that's basically what we do in games. And it's not, or otherwise leveling up your numbers. But it's not, I don't think it's bad. I think those things should exist alongside other things, but I think it's limited. I think there's a lot of different things that you can do that aren't those two things. And here's what to do about it. And here's the thing I saw on Twitter not too long ago. The Monument Valley people had this slide in a talk, which is actually looks like a game design document I had for another game I'm working on. And so now I'm mad because they stole my idea, but they used a time machine to do it. Anyway. And I thought that was very clever. And I like that was very intentional, because that game just puts you in a pretty nice place when you're playing it, I think. So I'll talk about my game and tell you guys about, how I incorporated some of this in my game. And what is this stuff? Oh, there we go. There's all my little thingies. So I'm going to play the Dropsy trailer just for the uninitiated here. And I don't know. I should do a volume check. Oh, yeah, is this plugged in? It should be dinging, I think. Oh, I think I know what I must do. This happened to me at another. No, it looks like it should be working. I can play it without audio, I guess. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll do this. Okay. Oh my God. No one has a ukulele here, do they? Okay, because I made this song and I can play it on ukulele, but it's a sing-along. So here's the trailer. Good old Windows Media Player. Oh wait, this is even the wrong trailer. Oh well. So this is the first trailer that we had. And anyway, so beep boop beep boop beep. Anyway, so this is the first trailer that we had. I don't know what a butt sounds like, or else I'd do that. But yeah. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so this trailer, I like it, and my instruction for the dude who made it, his name's Kurt Gartner. He's a really good trailer maker guy. But I told him, make it very happy, like as happy as you possibly can, because I'm scared that people are going to think that this is like a cynical, like you actually killed everybody at the end, clowns, killer clown game. And so he did. He made it really happy. It was colorful, but still, and we'll get to that here, still people kind of got the wrong idea when they did early press on it. So we had some issues when we were designing the game, though. It's a point-and-click adventure. And in point-and-click adventures, and in ours, you have an inventory, and you can pick up objects from the world. And most of the time, that means you're just emptying everyone's house of their coins or hangers or whatever the heck you're getting. And Dropsy is not like a guy who would go jacking people's stuff. So Also, you basically trick everybody too. You know, you put on a mustache or you wear a priest's collar to trick people. And Dropsy, he probably couldn't formulate those things anyway because he is supposed to be kind of a developmentally challenged character, so we were careful when we made the game to make you never laugh at him. But he does like talk to animals and color and hug. So we designed puzzles around those interactions basically. And so here's something that sort of complicated things because I was going after, and I guess it makes it more subversive to make a game with a lead character who everyone assumes the worst of. And in the game, you are hated in the world you're in because you're a scary-looking clown, and everyone kind of blames you for a circus fire that happened before the game starts. So the Twitter initial reactions were kind of funny because it was like they were in-game NPCs because that's what they do. They run away from you and hate you and everything. So it's kind of cool. And then Kotaku, I was like, oh my god, we got something on Kotaku. And then hold on, disturbing clown, yeah. Ooh, anyway, let's see here. And there's their thumbnail, and then which is. And then a game about what is this? Creepy clown that hugs terrified children. And then that's the sing-along trailer, which I should have brought. And then here's a horrifying game about clown hugs. Dropsy looks terrifying, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. Because I think that was a second press release where they were like, it's actually a nice game, but some people just were like, seeing, he was like, hey, you're scary looking. Anyway, okay, so I have a video. It does have audio. I don't know, were you guys able to hear the audio on that? I don't know. We'll try it. And it's just the initial Let's Players. Okay, yeah, we can. It's just the initial people who played it. It was mostly the beta or the early version we sent out. And this was the initial reactions when they were playing it. Let me... Hold on. Everything's fine? Oh, well, we'll try to hear it. Just everyone be very, very quiet. Can you guys hear this at all? No? Okay, well, it's basically a bunch of people being like, what is this? Oh my god! I'm never getting to sleep! And stuff. So, yeah, so that compounded making a game, and it made it better, because when people saw the ads, I guess it's just really hard to initially get over that he looks like that. And, you can't blame people for thinking that. I mean, his face, he has a gaping hole for a mouth with yellow teeth. So, whatever. But I think it made it better when people actually tried to play it to understand. Eventually, most of these Let's Players, I have another video where they're all like, oh, let's see who we can hug. And they're all happy and enjoying hugging people. And so that was going to be a contrast there. Anyway. So I'm going to open up the game. We'll see if it works with this screen size. I don't know if I've...
Did you check the drivers? Which driver did you select? Because the sound is coming up from the elevator.
Oh, perhaps.
Yeah.
I am doing things all wrong.
Go on the driver spot.
Yeah, and then playback devices.
Exactly. And check if you maybe
speakers.
Maybe go on the other
I am so dumb. Okay.
Maybe this one is working.
Yeah,
Try
maybe
now.
it's working now. All right, let's see here. so good. Okay. So, all right. So here's our game here. And I saved the game at a nice little point where we can kind of do some stuff. Hopefully the day and night cycle's working because I think I broke it earlier. So, yeah. Here's a lady whose sandwich is being stolen by a mouse. And, wow, it does work in a weird... Very nice. Okay. I wasn't sure if it would scroll or just stay, on the screen. So her sandwich is being stolen by a mouse. She lives behind a church. And so we're going to go check out the church because they sometimes hand out sandwiches. I'm like smacking my gum in the microphone. Sorry, everybody. I'll just put it right here on my laptop. Okay, let's see here. So here's the church, which is based on a real church that I attended. And this is their abysmal, help the homeless program where you have to hear her talk about how rock and roll sucks and everything. And if you try to grab a sandwich, she goes, "Hey, no sandwich for you, Dropsy." And I don't know why. She's doesn't like clowns either, I guess. Well, I do know why, actually. Here, I'll give you guys a little secret. So nothing in this game is just a detail that falls to the ground. Everything kind of means something. So in your circus fire, her husband died, who was the pastor of this church. And they used to be pretty known in the world for helping the homeless out and stuff. And so you can see him kind of serving a hamburger. And you can find other hints at this in the... And there's the window pictured, and it has a lock on it. So after the fire and after he perished in your circus fire, I think she got maybe a little bitter, or she just gave up and just like, whatever. I can't do everything. So we're going to go over here. And because I made this, I know how to solve all the puzzles. And look in this dumpster. Oh, what is this? It's a cassette tape with a pentagram on it. So, and that wasn't stolen. That was in a dumpster. So, it's fair to take it. And now this sandwich, Dropsy's not stealing. He's just transporting it to the lady out back who needs it. So, anyway, so here's a nice little cassette tape player. And the cassette tapes in this game were like a fun way for me to put my friends' music in the game. So we're gonna play that. And like many people who I know at churches, they can't operate technology. So I was the projector guy at a church for a long... Beamer, as you guys call it. The Beamer guy. And it was a crazy time. Anyway, so we got that sandwich. We're going to go up yonder. Oh, it's getting nighttime a little bit. And we are going to give her this sandwich. And the dog is sniffing. The dog is kind of a hint system. He sniffs around interesting areas. And then we get a little hug. Yay. And normally there'd be like a thing that's like, yeah, you hugged someone. Oh, there it is. Yay, hug. And that signifies when you've kind of solved a puzzle too. So all the puzzles end in hugs. So you also have little companions, and your mouse can get into these areas. If you try to look in there, you can't get in there. And then the mouse finds a little bracelet with a key hanging off of it. Oh yeah, I gotta beat Dropsy again. Anyway, she's chilling, enjoying her sandwich. Now, we have a few homeless people in this game, and we didn't want to make it where if you just gave them a sandwich or just gave them a coin, then yay, the end, you've solved the puzzle and this homeless person is forever grateful and happy because you gave them a coin or a sandwich. So we stacked some puzzles, and here's the church lady kind of pensively at night. She kind of hangs out at this, on this slide here. So, usually at this point, this is just an optional puzzle too, by the way. A lot of people just don't even try to complete it. But the church is closed at night, so I have to go to sleep. And then we're going to go to sleep here. And after we helped her, she painted our face there, so now we can sleep in that bed, which is very nice of her. And we'll get up in the morning, go to church. I like that little violin thing. We had a jazz guy named Chris Schlarb do our music, and he got a 5-piece jazz ensemble together, California, and it's all very cool sounding, and I like it. Oh, and they have a real Mellotron in the end game songs, which is really cool. And if you're a dork and know what a Mellotron is, then props. Anyway, so if you find the details enough to know that you should open this window, like if you look at this really closely, there's a key on the bottom of it, and you can show it to her at night in the playground, and she'll be like, "That's a bracelet my husband gave me," and stuff. So if you use the key on this lock, it'll open that, and then she should stop preaching right now, but she's not gonna because you can still hear her. But then she looks down and she's like, "What am I doing? My husband's legacy." And she has an idea. And then so she sets up a place for the homeless people in the world. And instead of being where they were, they will be at night sleeping in the church, and in the daytime eating back there and hanging out. And so the puzzles sometimes stack. And the other thing about this is it would be very easy. I'm very cynical about the type of churches I grew up in. And it would be very easy to just make a pastiche of a church lady being preachy and not being effective. But I thought it would be cool to give everyone in the game some good about them, And so you can kind of... she's still preaching. She shouldn't be preaching right now. It should just be the music. But give everyone something good in there that you can find about them, some value. And I guess Dropsy is about finding the value in all kinds of people. And all of the NPCs in the game are huggable, and they all have something interesting about them that you can find. But yeah, so that's an example of that puzzle, of like a puzzle in the game. Oh, yes, I do want to leave. Sorry. And I have a personal sort of. I was raised in a church, like you may have guessed, but and I am still religious, but not in the way that I was raised. So this is kind of, there are 2 verses that are the inspiration for the design of the game, and I tried to. The talk is about kindness being power, and I feel like there are evil forces in my game, and I feel like instead of defeating them by killing them, or Dropsy defeats them or overcomes obstacles by these things, and I felt like this was pretty powerful. Against such things there is no law. So these things usurp everything, these 9 things here. And so I was very conscious when I made the game to incorporate those in Dropsy's interactions with people. And there's also this, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head, which is, sounds mean, but do not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. And I like this idea, and I don't think games explore it enough. Like, there's a lot of ways for you to progress and it doesn't have to be murdering everyone. If you murder them, you remove someone from existence, and then they're gone, and that's fine. If you befriend them or show kindness to them, you've gained an ally, or a person who is now your friend, and now there's more good guys in the world. So I just was trying to do that with Dropsy very intentionally. Oh yeah, and I already did that. Whoops. So yeah, I guess that's it. I think I will do. Is there time for questions or anything?
All right. So you want to give us a hug?
Thank you, guys.